In the void, where the warp winds howl, a fleet once noble, now destined to fall. Grave wardens stir, betrayal takes shape, Typhon's whispers, sealing their fate. Navigators lost to the shadowed lie, a fleet adrift beneath a darkened sky. The warp's cruel grasp, unyielding and tight, chaos awaits in the endless night. Whispers of power, a pestilent tide, Mortarian's pride, with nowhere to hide. The destroyer plague, a grim reward, Nurgle's laughter echoes aboard. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The death god transformed, never the same. Plague-born sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Mortarian stands, his sons by his side. Through agony storm, their oaths collide. Grandfather's hand, the pact is sealed. The legion reborn, their fate revealed. Lies in the armor, rot in the soul. A Primarch remade, his heart grown cold. In terror's shadow, their war drums beat. Pestilent warriors, no chance of retreat. Through breach and ruin, their banners fly. With death's embrace, they'll never die. The Lion's Gate, where hope was torn. Jagged blade meets the Plagueborn. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The death god transformed, never the same. Plagueborn sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Typhus herald, chaos born, Mortarian's wrath, the plague sworn. In the warp, their legacy thrives, eternal servants where corruption lies. Mortarians fall, Typhus ascends, the death god song, it never ends.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast. Hopefully everyone is doing well. It's good to see so many people in the chat. So yeah, welcome to another sort of event recap stream. So for those who didn't know, over the weekend I attended the International Teams Tournament down in Coventry. This is to date the largest team tournament that has taken place in the world, which is really cool to think about. That's kind of mad. And as the slide here might suggest, not only do we manage to go 5-0 in the main sort of event. We managed to then play in the Shadow Rounds, which I will be honest, we did lose the Shadow Rounds, but we managed to end up having a second place finish and podium, and we actually got a trophy as well, which is not just a medal, we got a little trophy this time, which is awesome. But we'll get into all of that in a second. It's just good to see everyone in the chat. Let's have a quick check-in with you guys, but a quick reminder, if you do enjoy the content on this channel, please leave a like. If you have not subscribed, consider becoming a subscriber, and if you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a Plague Marine member. Hit the join button below. You get access to our Discord, you get access to download the music from the streams, you get access to just join in all the conversations, the giveaways, all that sort of good stuff. And again, it just really helps out the channel. Now, due to a recent string of demonetizations, because we've been using words such as words what happen when a bolter shoots another marine and that marine falls over, I will have to be careful with certain choices of words from now on, because YouTube for some reason has an eye on me, because it doesn't like me at the moment for some reason. So we're going to be very clean on what we say this. So from now on, marines will fall over and go to sleep, okay? There's no violence in Warhammer 40,000. It's a very nice game. It does mean a 5-1 Don, but shush, we don't talk about that. We're talking about the main event. That's what we're covering today. So checking in with the chat, we've got Derek, Travis, Michael Mahon, Don Hooson, hello Don, Mr. Gray, who just made brownies. Oh, can I have one, mate? I fucking love brown. Oh, I've already swore. Well, this went well. I love brownies, mate, so much. He's asking a question, can we use Greater Blight drones as fetid bloat drones? I mean, as long as they're roughly the same profile, I wouldn't have an issue with it in casual games. I mean, I wouldn't even have an issue with it in a real game, as long as it's on the same base size. But obviously, always check with a tournament if you're taking it to an event. Just always check that to make sure you don't want to play yourself silly. And everyone else just kind of saying hello in here. So we've got Jacob, Brock, Olaf, Derek, and Walter as well in there. So it's really cool to see your average YouTube experience. Tell me about it. So for people who maybe have never joined one of these before, what we're basically going to do is we're going to, I'll skip ahead a little bit so you can see. We're going to reenact turn by turn the plays we made. We're going to talk about the decisions and why we made them, certain tactics that we used, and you're going to hopefully be able to piece together and sort of visualize with the aid on screen how we played the game and sort of how we made the use of the list. So yeah, it's just a quick thing for everyone who may be new here. So first things first, this is a Teams tournament. I need to just drop this down a bit for some reason. It's just slightly off the screen for you guys. Let me just fix that very quickly and drop that there, and lift that up there. All right, should all be good now. Happy days. So this is a Teams tournament. So Teams tournaments are a little different to your normal event. In this one, you bring a 5-man team. Normally the 5 to 8, and this one's a 5-man teams. Now, on your team, no member is allowed to bring a duplicate of an army. So if I play Death Guard, no one else on the team can play Death Guard. But not only that, if I was, for example, to take Nurglings as allies, no one else on my team can take demons or play demons. So it's very much like once you took something, you take it away from the rest of the team. So you have to be aware of that. And that includes Marines. Marines actually aren't like Space Marines, Blood Angels, Space Wolves. They all count as the same for Loyalist Marines. So if you have a Blood Angel player, you can't have an Ultramarine player, you can't have a Dark Angel player, etc. Now, a little bit different to singles event is singles event, you get your pairing randomly at the start of the round, and whoever you get is whoever you get. Obviously here, we've got 2 teams of 5 people. So what happens is your 2 captains will actually begin what's called a pairings process. This is where basically one of your captain will offer up one of your armies to the opposing team, and the opposing team will do the same to you. Then, after looking at what the opponent's given you, you will select 2 of your armies to potentially fight this one. You will then give the option back to the opponent, and then they will look at the 2 you've chosen, and they will pick one, and that will be the fight that happens. So if, for example, if I put Death Guard down and my opponent puts down Necrons and Space Marines, I am then going to look at those and go, well, I hate playing Necrons, so I'm going to pick Space Marines, and I will fight Space Marines with Death Guard, and the Necrons go back into the pool, and this repeats ad infinitum until everyone has a match. Now, this adds an extra tactical layer to it, because you might have a bad matchup, but you can try and dodge it. You might have brought a list that really excels in killing infantry, so you dodge things like my list, which is Iron Storm, all vehicles, so that they don't get that, and that means they can try and get a good matchup and try and smash their game. Okay. Now, because of this, it means that roles on the team are kind of important. So certain teams will bring people for different roles and armies for different roles as well. So I'm sorry to go into so much detail on this, but I know there's some people that might be watching who never even heard of a team storm before and have no idea how it goes. So I hope you guys don't mind me spending a few minutes just clarifying this for people that maybe are brand new to it all. So a role, for example, could be you might have someone that's out there to hunt heads. Now the reason this is important is I'll skip to the bottom point. In teams, it's not about just winning the game or losing the game. It's about how much and how little you lose the game by. For every 5 points difference between you and your opponent, you will be a point ahead. So the game starts 10-10 for a draw. So it's drawing. You're both on 0 points. For example, if I went to 10 points and you stayed at 0, at that point, I take 2 points off my opponent because I'm 2 lots of 5 above them, and I add them to my score. So it's actually now a 12-8. So if you won a game with 50 points difference between your score and your opponent's, that's a 20-0. That's an absolute blowout. And that is what headhunting lists are after. So these are lists that are looking to get a good matchup, go in, absolutely smash an opponent in a great pairing, and bring home all the points for the team. The other ones are called stuff like you've got blunters. Blunters bring lists that don't lose bad to anyone. Doesn't mean they win the games, but it means even if they lose, even if they get into a bad matchup, the worst they're going to walk away with is like an 8 points. So it'll be a 12-8 loss. They're really important to take on these headhunters because if you can match a blunter into a headhunter, you can basically kind of like cut off the points from your opponent's team. And because of the way that the teams works, skew lists often become more common in teams. Skew being like someone who's brought 15 tanks like I've done here, or someone who's brought all infantry, or like 3 massive Tesseract vaults, things like that. You'll see them a bit more often because these things tend to end up being more crazy on the results. So like they're either going to blow someone out or get blown away. So there's a bit of a risk to it as well at the same time. But again, you rely on the pairings process to try and get good matchups. So that's what teams is. And Death Guard, as Don Houston is saying, is a very good defender / blunter. So you can put down Death Guard first. And Death Guard never really tend to get blown out by an army. So you always bring back some points. And they're just good at basically just playing a long game. Death Guard tends to go all 5 rounds. But not likely you get tabled that often. And it's quite good. It's not necessarily the best at headhunting. It can do that. But it's not what it's really best for. Because the speed can be an issue. Like you can't table your opponent quick enough to stop them getting points. Whereas you want fast armies to go out and smash someone and make sure they get 0 points. So hopefully people that sort of brings a little bit of a introduction to sort of teams format for people who don't know about teams. Dana Johnson, thank you very much for the $10 super chat there, mate. Really appreciate it. Hales, you guys are tearing it up. Also, just watch the hobby stream and I'll have you know I'm American and make Yorkshire puddings all the time. Hell yeah. Everyone loves a good Yorkshire pudding. I'm proud of you, Dan. Dana, I'm very proud of you, mate. What is up, fam? Glad to see us back for more. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, Tyler. So, let's have a look at our team. So this is the team that we brought to this event. So Team Vanguard Tactics. I'm playing for Team Vanguard Tactics. So we've got Mike Costello rocking his Bridgehead Guard. Stephen Box on a not Solar Spearhead Custodes. He's rocking a normal Shield Host Custodes. And Stephen actually went into this under the impression that he wouldn't be a headhunting list. But my god, he became a headhunting list. And Mike Costello actually played the blunting role superbly well. Massive shout out. Mike Costello, he will be the unsung hero of this one. The people who take blunt lists don't get the glory. They don't get the 20-0s. They don't get them. But they serve such an important role. And when you see some of the matchups Mike got, the fact he came home with any points, magnifique. But Stephen and Mike Porter were the 2 massive headhunters in this one. They were looking for the 20-0s. They were there to smash people, get a good pairing, and bring home the points for the team. And they did do that. Now, myself and Ben Jones, we were kind of more on sort of like a kind of take all comers kind of idea. So Death Guard doesn't really have too many bad matchups. I can blow someone out if I get a good pairing, but we're not looking for it. And the same with Ben, who went with an Anvil of Siege Force with quite a bit of indirect Vindicators. It's just Marines. It's just generic sort of good stuff. So that's really cool. So me and Ben were sort of there to just basically guarantee either small wins, small losses. Mike's there to hold the horrific matchups at bay. The last line, shields up, boys. And Stephen and Mike Porter were there to absolutely go and smash someone with Gene Steel Cults and Custodes. Strong Boy coming in with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, mate. I really, really, really appreciate that, mate. Massive love, mate. If you did just get given a membership, make sure to go to our homepage on YouTube. It's not called Community tab anymore. They've renamed it to Posts. So go to our Posts, scroll down a bit and they'll find a link that'll get you onto our Discord. Once you're in our Discord, just go to your settings, connections, connect your YouTube to your Discord, and it'll unlock the full server and you'll get access to all the channels and stuff like that. So thank you very much, Strongboy. Really, really appreciate that, mate. You've always been a legend on here. Anvil is very good, and I will mimic what Zito says there. Go check out 6++ podcast gaming, who we played against in this event, as you'll see. He was running Anvil Marines as well, and he's got a very good breakdown of why that's suddenly having a resurgence, and he's doing really well at the moment, especially in teams. So what did I take specifically? I took a Plaguestorm list. So Plaguestorm, people don't know, is a play on word for the Ironstorm detachment that Space Marines have. So it's a vehicle-heavy detachment. We're basically trying to make the most out of our tanks, bringing lots of vehicles along, making that toughness skew happen, and obviously with a Death Guard twist on it. So just a quick clarification, this was the biggest team event in the world, 695 players, which is insane, 5 players per team, so someone in the chat can figure out the maths on how many teams that is. I have no idea, I'm not going to try and figure it out right now. But what I took Mortarion. So Mortarion is basically like a tank in his stat line, toughness 12, 2 up save, 4 up invulnerable, 5 up feel no pain, and he's got a really great aura of ignore all modifiers and reroll 1s to wound, so he's going to be supporting and making sure my firepower is always at maximum power. Not going to worry about armor contempt, not going to be worried about smokes, all this kind of things like that. We're just going to make sure that when we fire, whatever we look at gets deleted. And that's what Mortarion's job is, as well as being fairly tanky. He can also float around, do actions, and he's a good charge deterrent. People, when they see tank lists, want to get in close quickly. So having him be able to sort of counter charge, heroic intervention around the tanks and keep them safe is really nice. Now I brought a bit of tech here. I brought a Death Guard Icon Bearer. Lots of gun lines, and especially quite a bit of their Death Guard about, who are running sort of Ironstorm list. So I brought the Icon Bearer so that I can guarantee that I can get contagion where I need it to be in those shooting matchups. So I can disembark a transport, move 5, so that's 8, roll a d6 on advance, so potentially up to 14, and then drop a banner which can give me a 12-inch contagion. So that is surprising out of nowhere, possibly up to like 14 plus 12, 26-inch contagion range out of nowhere. So that's really cool to potentially do, and it came up a lot, and it was so good. I really like inclusion of this little guy. Backing up, we've got 5 Plague Marines for him to potentially join. That gives us a squad of 17 OC, which is good against Knights because it means 2 War Dogs can't out OC one objective, which is very important. And even with out the Plague Marines, sometimes you don't need the OC. You're happy to fire out the Icon Bearer alone. It's still nice to bring a unit of Plague Marines who can do actions, make use of any battle line buffs, and still be able to just, score some primary and have 10 OC on a point. It's quite nice. We also got 3 squads of 10 cultists. These guys are cheap, they're expendable, you can throw them away, they can score actions, they can move block, they can spread contagion. For 150 points, 3 squads of those Muppets, brilliant choice. So I was super happy to bring along those. You could probably get over 2 squads, I won't lie, but I liked having the 3rd one. And obviously a Chaos Rhino to ferry the Marines and the Icon Bearer about. Then we've gone 3 fetid bloat drones, 2 of them rocking spitters, 1 with the heavy blight launcher. I already felt like I killed infantry enough. A lot of people go for the triple spitters in this build, but I already kill a lot of infantry, and like I said, I kind of wanted to be able to win those shooting matchups a bit more against like mirror matches. So I brought a heavy blight launch drone out because the 6 shots with lethal hits at strength 8, AP2, 2 damage can actually chip away vehicles because of the lethal hits. And it's just going to be a lot more valuable than spitters in those kind of mirror matches, and he did really well. I was happy with the launcher drone. I got 3 Predator Destructors, 2 of them rocking Last Cannon sponsons, 1 with the Heavy Bolters, because people keep telling me Heavy Bolters are the way forward, and after playing it, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I like them. If you ever get line of sight on infantry, my god, get deleted, as you'll see, maybe later. But the lethal hit still helps them chip away at vehicles and contribute to the game, whereas Last Cannons can definitely be a bit more explosive in terms of damage, but the 2 heavy bolters kind of guarantee 2 to 4 damage on a vehicle, whereas the Last Cannons can sometimes go from 0 to 14, so it's a bit of a weird one. I don't think either is exceptionally better than the other, but I think there's definitely an argument to take heavy bolters, because the lethal hits plus the sustained surprised me quite a bit. Now we've got 3 Plague Burst Crawlers. PPCs, happy to have them back, honestly. Like, PPCs really surprising me in how well he did. The indirect was really useful. The 2-up save always catches people out. The spitters on top of them as well. It's just really good little bully unit as well, especially once the enemy's anti-tank sort of been dealt with. They're nightmares to kill, like toughness 10, 12 wounds, 2 up armor save, basically gives them a 4 up invulnerable versus like las cannons because of cover. I was really glad to have them back, and the utility of the mortars still is so good, even hitting on 4s, like picking up mortar teams, picking up like dread knights even, when you make them toughness 7, -1 save and boil blight. Super, super glad I brought them along. And then one War Dog Carnivore, the absolute Chad. This thing was such a great inclusion. I see why Nathan put it in his list. This thing put in so much work. As you'll see, it was always a great threat, whether it was in strat reserves or on the board. Every single game that thing made its points back 100%. So one Carnivore with the OC8, the movement 14s, reroll those charges, and the absolutely devastating Slaughter Claw. Absolute brilliant. I was so happy to have that piece in there, and it just made some matchups, just cracked them right open. So Carnivore, I may have need to apologise to Will. I may be team Carnivore now, but just the one. I don't want more. I don't want more. Just the one. Maybe 2. Just the one. So that is the list. So it's a very fun list. It's very different. It's very car parky, but as you'll see, hopefully it's quite effective. It's quite scary. So first up in our matchups, we came across the South London Legion Team Yeet. So this is a team we actually played last year at Coventry I.T.T, which is quite funny to meet them again. So these guys brought some absolute wacky lists. I called them Toughness 12 the team. So they brought along, as the armies you can see, as we got Chaos Knights, which all this is Toughness 12. There's no War Dogs. We've got Space Wolves, which is like a Wolf Jail kind of list. We've got CSM Pact Bound with a Lord of Skulls, so another Toughness 12 big scary unit. Imperial Knights with a load of Toughness 12 units, so a couple of Armigers in that one, but mostly big knights. I think it was Canis Rex, a Warden, and a Lancer. And the Orcs also brought massive Toughness 12 models. They had 2 Gorkanauts, 2 Morkanauts, all the mech guns. So very much Team Yeet. They were definitely playing for fun to sort of bring those massive models and throw them at people's faces and see what happened. So in the pairings, I got paired against Ben Raven on his Chaos Knights. So we had to face a Knight Desecrator with the Sticky Objective Enhancement, a Chaos Knight Lancer, and triple Rampage. So just 5 big Toughness 12 smashy boys. Oh, thank you very much, Liz Chicken, for the gifted membership. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And once again, if you got gifted a membership, make sure you join the Discord and make sure to say thank you to the person that gave you the membership as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's about as blunt as a hammer to the forehead. It's 5 big melee smashy knights, but I love it. It's great, and these guys were always just great and fun to play. So we were looking forward to it. It's a silly list, but I tell you what, he came up and Ben came and caught up with me after every game to sort of see how Morty and my Chaos Knight War Dog was getting on, and I asked him. I think he ended up going 2-2-1 with his list, which is amazing. Like so he put smackdown on some people, which is really funny. So first match we're playing. I think this is Tipping Point. I think it is. I can't quite remember the name of the deployment. On this one, I believe I was a defender on this one, and I got paired into the Chaos Knights on this one. There wasn't really, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly a huge fan of killing Toughness 12 things, but I was like, okay, I've got a lot of guns, I've got lethal hits, and it's big boys. Hopefully we'll be okay with this one. So, as we start deploying, I have to remember that my opponent, I forget all the time, Titanic units for Knights, I have to put 2 down for every 1 they put down, and it kept catching me out. So, he puts a nice Knight Desecrator, slams it on his home. So I'm like, right, okay, everything is on the table here. I'm going to put 1 Spitter Drone, because face it, it's not going to do much damage anyway, in reserve. So 1 Spitter Drone goes and sits in reserves. Everything else on the table, including the Carnivore, because this is where we're going to use Will. We talked, War Dog Will's talked a few times about having this guy act like a linebacker for American football, for the Americans in the chat. That's exactly what this Carnivore is going to play like. So we start dropping stuff down. So we put our cultists on the line there, just in case we get first turn, we can scout onto the objective and stick it, which is quite nice. Then we're going to start putting down the rest of our units. So pretty much straightforward. We're going to get another unit of cultists, and they're going to go right on the line here to sort of stop the knight just running down the side. So my opponent then puts a rampager right on the line here. So that now, because this one's here, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and get this boy. I want this guy to go down. Now we are playing a light table, This is why you might see the L's in a weird shape. This is the light table. Normally they're straight and down, but instead they're on like an L shape this time, so you can get a lot more shots in at your target. So I'm going to put a Rhino right here. I'm then going to put down my Predator right at the back here. So my opponent then drops a Lanceroni there. And I once again double down on the old Predatorinos. And the heavy blight launch drone. So it's more like that. Another Rampager goes down over here. We drop another Predator over here. And then we go PBC. And then he goes another Rampager right there. So he's got a lot of scary boys right now. And we basically just... we're going to put a lot of PBCs down. We're going to castle up quite a bit. But what we make sure to do is we're using these bloat drones with the spitters, the one spitter here, and Mortarium, to basically... We're not deploying all together in a castle. We're leaving enough space for us to maximise the amount of space we can take up, but leaving no space for a Chaos Knight to land. Because these things can walk over the cultists and walk through the wall, but what they can't do is finish and move on top of an opponent's model. So we're just using the rest of our models to basically fill up the space between all my units. So if they get first turn, the only thing they're going to be able to charge is cultists, or a Rhino. That's it, nothing else. So we're using them, making the most of our space, and we're making sure that we basically... the carnivore is also in here as well. So it's a bit messy, this deployment, because I'm just sticking everything together. So I do apologise. So one of the cultist units was over here, like that, with this guy protecting him. These guys are in the transport, and they are together this time in this game. So we roll off, and I do actually end up getting first turn, which is quite nice in this matchup because it just allows me to potentially do some damage before 5 full health knights start bearing down on me. So we need to make the most of this. We need to be aggressive. It is Terraform. He's probably going to get to Terraform. There's not much I can do about that. It is what it is. They are giant knights. I'm not going to put myself in a bad position just to try and stop Terraform. So the first things, we've picked our target. It's going to be this bad boy up here. So what we do is these Predators I've sat still. They were just there anyway. This guy drives and just gets to... He drives to like there behind here. So again, he can just poke his bum out. So we've got all these guns pointing down at this Chaos Knight over here. I've got the score up here. So first turn, we actually draw. We don't actually draw. This is weird. I took fixed because my opponent took fixed. He took engage on all fronts and bring it down. And given that these are all characters and giant robots and he needs to run at me to deal damage, I took assassination and bring it down. And I'll tell you what, it feels so weird to not draw cards and worry about anything. It just feels really, really goddamn weird. But that's the way it goes. So we did scout onto the middle and we stickied it, and then we basically just moved and advanced back and just covered all this space again. So it's middle stickied. Now what we do is we move and advance this, we scout, move and advance this unit of cultists, but we don't run as far as possible. What we actually do is we actually string out the unit at max coherency to fill this entire line, because I want to move block him as much as possible, but again, he can walk over infantry. So by stringing back at maximum coherency, we actually block all of this. So even if he rolls a 6 on the advance, he can't finish here because my back guy would be where his base would land. So that's going to keep this knight at tops up here for an entire turn. So even though we're trying to kill this guy, we've still got our backup plan, just in case we don't kill it. Last thing we want is this Rampager smashing our Predators up, okay? So we're going to leave him up there for now. We disembark the Plague Marines with the Icon Bearer. They move and advance. It's swift action, so they can move, advance, and action. They get on this point, start terraforming, and I pop the banner. And the banner is just enough in range, because I come out the other side a little bit with the banner bearer. He's more like that. Just enough to get this guy within contagion range. So now we've got -1 save on this guy here, and we're going to pop Boil Blight. So we're going to ignore cover with all that army, and we are going to unload absolutely everything we can into this knight here. We even have this Predator that was here, drive to here so it can see with its auto cannon and stuff, and las cannons. And we unload absolutely everything we can into this knight. Now, what do we manage to do? We managed to do enough damage to drop it down to 1 single wound. And then I remember this carnivore has a Havoc Launcher, and this Havoc Launcher shoots, and shoo, the knight goes to sleep. So this knight goes to sleep on turn 1. So that's a great start for us. We're quite happy there. Now we do start terraforming here. And the reason for this is that basically this knight has a choice now. It either has to stand here and out OC me and stay there so I don't get terraform. Has to either charge them and kill them, or let me have terraform and pressure me. So I'm hoping the knight's going to go this way, which will alleviate a bit of pressure on me. And that's what happens. So the knight comes down here, starts pressuring. This rampager moves into the middle. This rampager moves on down to here. The desecrator moves up a bit. And I think he shot, like, I think it was this blow drone was over here, the flame one. I had a flame one just, like, move out. He shoots this with a laser destructor, does a bit of damage to it. But nothing dies just yet. Oh, he does die. He gets bring it down for 4. So laser destructor went into... Yeah, it was that thing. I think it pop. That was pop. Oh, it was the Rhino. That's what it was. There was a Rhino. I remember. So the Rhino goes pop. This guy gets advanced and charged on this bloat drone, so I lose my bloat drone there, and he just stands at this point. So he then charges into the Plague Marines and kills them with the Lancer, which is fine. So we've lost a bloat drone and an empty Rhino. That's fine by me. We're all right that. So coming back into our turn, we're like, okay, we're gonna try now to kill this knight and this knight. The Lancer's the big problem. I don't want it near me. It's very scary. So all these guys can remain still. All these predators. These guys have to move out a bit here and here so they can see that. This bloat drone once again just comes up. The cultists are providing contagion. They just walk a bit closer to that old rampage, not Lancer, sorry. And we're going to try and rinse and repeat what we just did with our first turn. We're just going to put all our shots into Lancer, and then to kill the guy in the middle, we're going to have the Carnivore move up and round to here, and the cultists are going to move forward, and then they're going to try and charge that and kill that. Can't do anything about this one on the right here, and I'm not too worried about the Desecrator just yet. So we're just going to try and deal with 2 more. And we shoot absolutely everything we can at this Lancer, and unfortunately we drop it to 6 wounds, but it does live because I forgot Lancers have more wounds than normal. They have like an extra couple of wounds over a normal knight, and having that 4 up invulnerable all the time is obviously quite a pain in the ass as well. But we do drop it to 4, so it's very heavily weakened. Then, in the middle, we charge this Rampager with the Carnivore. Now, we also charge it with the Cultists, not just because we want to get Contagion, we're already in Contagion, but you'll see why in a second. So, the Carnivore strikes at the thing, 6 attacks hitting on 2s, wounded on 3s, we get 4 wounds, and I CP reroll one of them to get an extra wound, because it's quite important. So, it's minimum taking 10 plus 5d6 damage. And we do manage to absolutely one-bang that thing out of here, so that's dead. Now, because the cultists had charged it, and they haven't fought yet, that means they're eligible to activate. So what we do is we use their Consolidate just to sort of move on to the objective and create a human barrier for my War Dog here, which means that if this Desecrator wants to come down, it can't charge this Chaos Knight. But the Carnivore, the Lancer can, but if the Lancer wants to go over there, back here is safe. If the Lancer wants to come down here, the Carnivore can potentially heroic, and it's also just going to hopefully live for a turn. So my opponent's turn, this Lancer moves down, and he's looking to basically get a bit of damage in at Morty here. The Desecrator walks over here, and he can see just the prow of this PVC sticking out. He shoots at the PVC, drops it to 8 wounds, which is kind of big because the Lancer is flat 8 damage. This Rampager moves down here. Sorry, these guys are flip around. Like that. And he does get a charge off into the PVC down here. So, the Lancer puts 1 attack into the Plague Burst Crawler and the rest into Mortarion. The 5-up invulnerable saves the Plague Burst Crawler from death, so he actually survives his 1 attack, which is yay, happy days there. The Desecrator comes and just absolutely murders all of the cultists, and this guy smacks into the PBC with a claw, but only 1 wound goes through because I managed to somehow spike the 5-up invulnerables and save this guy, which means that this was quite a bad turn. Nothing actually died by the cultists. My opponent then consolidates into the Carnivore. Might sound a bit crazy. His logic behind it was, if he doesn't, I just charge him anyway and kill him. And if he survives my melee slapback, then there's a chance that he will fight first. Well, there's not a chance. There is. He will fight first next turn, which is technically true. He will fight first. Now, 2 cultists have survived because the thing doesn't have enough attacks to kill them all, and they're still there. Contagion. Unfortunately, after the Consolidate, the War Dog proceeds to slap this thing for 28 wounds and kills it as well, because the Carnivore's crazy. So the Carnivore currently has 3 knights on its kill tally. Mortarion strikes back and does manage to kill the last couple wounds off this Lancer here. So it's been quite a bad, horrific turn for my opponent. Things just didn't go well. Bounced where he needed to connect, and then the strike backs killed 2 more of his giant knights. Now, in my turn 3, I just bring in the bloat drone on his home objective and start terraforming it. And then every single gun this PVC just falls back. Notice it didn't fall back, actually stays in combat because We can shoot. Oh, because our boss ones. Yeah, it falls back. This one falls back, runs away. And then every single gun from over here basically just make sure we can see this Chaos Knight. See, comes to that. Mortarion moves to give contagion around, and every single thing in my army shoots it. The Warder moves down in case he wants to punch it, and this Chaos Knight here goes down as well. And that's pretty much all she wrote on this one. Managed to max assassination and bring it down on the second turn when they all died, and yeah, it was a bit rough. My opponent, again, if he'd got first, it'd be quite different. There would have been pressure on me quite a bit earlier. Plus, when he did actually connect with the stuff, just the fight. It's again what Will was saying about the Demon Engine invulns just coming in clutch sometimes. This is just how it goes. The 5-up invulnerable can save your ass. And overall, the firepower of this list was surprising. This Carnivore just is a problem solver. It just wrecked two knights, really. It just finished off the last one, but it was really cool to see the Carnivore connect and sort of do the kind of crazy damage it can be. And we had enough screens to keep us nice and safe from that early pressure. And yeah, so you know, not too bad of a shabby start. Quite happy with that start. So we walk away with a 20-0 victory on that one, and the team ends up winning the round 81-19. So it's a really nice win for the team. A great sort of morale boost at the start to bring us round, and everyone's sort of having a good time. So happy start, and the guys were absolute pleasure. So again, shout out to South London Legion, Team Yeet. You guys are always a blast to play, and thank you for also coming and checking up on me after every game to see how Morty and the Carnival got on. It was a pleasure, mate, and I'm glad you ended up having some fun and smashing some people with your rampages. It was a pleasure to play you guys. So next up, this is now we're just gonna meet big team after big team. So we come across Fire and Dice. So Fire and Dice are quite a good team. Maybe not as well known as some of the others, but they're a very good team. Led by Byron Seedu, who is the son of the late Sid Seedu, who is an absolute legend in the Warhammer scene. Unfortunately, passed away. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before now, but I played him, and he was such a lovely gent. And his son's basically always played with him, and his son is still playing today and sort of carrying on that legacy, carrying on his team that he made. So massive shout and props to Byron there. But he's brought his team, and they have got quite the scary matchup. So they've got a Legion of Excess Demons player. They have a sort of Plaguestorm build as well for their Death Guard. We have a Necrons player, Tyranids, and a Chaos Space Marine. So nobody on my team wanted to play the Death Guard. So the idea was get me into Death Guard, and we'll see how the Death Guard Rumble goes. So we managed to get that pairing because none of them wanted to play anything on our team. So I ended up playing against Ewan Bedford Cooper on his Plague Company as well. So mirror match time. As he's taking a break, I've got a drink. I'm taking a drink. Okay. I'm just gonna have a quick check in with the chat, see how people are going, because obviously don't want to ignore you guys. Sweep and engage. That's what it's called. Thank you, strong boy. Herald the Plague Vase, in the name of the Plague Vase, we like, we comment, we subscribe. Thank you, Hugh Janus. Necros DB, I'm late, but I'm here. As he said his famous line, it's Nurgling time. There you go, that famous line I always say. Just wanted to say you guys rekindled my love for 40k and Death Guard. Your vids helped me get into the hobby. I'm super happy to hear that, Krog. That is exactly the reason we made the channel in the first place, and I'm glad to know that it has basically allowed you to get back into the hobby and enjoy the army that you have chosen. So I'm glad to hear that, mate. Thank you so much. Craig Bedford, how you doing, mate? How you doing, Craig? How did you get on that? Craig betrayed us and took Tyranids instead of Death Guard, but I'll let him off this one time. Let us know how you got on, mate. And Chuck and Norris, it's also good to have you here, Chuck. Plague Tank Company beats regular Death Guard most of the time. Strong pairing. That's, yeah. So this game, again, it's more standard. It's not as heavy. It's still got 3 Predator Destructors, but they're kind of like normal. 2 War Dog Brigands in this one, and then we've got 15 Death Shrouds. So this is more of a Death Shroud heavy build that we're against today. So let's get into it. So Ewan has done a write-up actually on this. I'll try and find a link and put it in chat for you, but he did a write-up of his entire event. So if you want another write-up of a Death Guard player, go check it out. He runs a blog. It's really cool. I will try and find it and remind me to put in chat. Chuck and Ori, try and remind me to put that in the chat after this game. Okay. So this one, I believe, is Purge the Foe. Let me just get up the score on my thing, because now we actually need to look at this, because we're going to have tactical. There we go. It is Purge the Foe. So we go to Purge the Foe. So kill one, kill more, hold one, hold more. So Normally quite bad if you were running like lots of little MSU units, but there's no real free kills in this army I'm against either, so it's going to be quite a tough one for us to get a lot of kills and stuff like that, but we'll see how it goes. So we deploy as per usual, so we put a unit of cultists just here in case we get first turn. We're just going to scout into here. It's a nice sort of staging area. We put Morty back here, and I make an absolute, I'm just going to deploy my entire thing. I make an absolute bloody castle of this thing. So here's Morty's up here. He's got a predator here. He's got a predator here. It's like here. His predator's here. Behind there. He's got a unit of Poxwalkers and cultists in reserve because obviously he's worried about me indirecting them off. We have a Fleshmaw drone here, a Fleshmaw drone here. The last predator, we have a unit of Death Shroud here who's just going to go basically go hug the wall. Typhus is in reserve. There's 2 units of Death Shroud, isn't there? Is it 2 times 6? Let me do a quick check. Was it 2 times 6? Yes, it is. It's 2 times 6. He's got 1 in reserves, and he's got 1 big one behind here, and the 3 man is in reserves as well. So he's got a big Death Shroud brick down the wall with Mortimer and co. And the Brigands are also chilling out behind the wall nice and safely. And I just build the world's absolute biggest castle pretty much at this point. I just build a massive castle. So we have a Rhino up here in case we want to go and drop off some Marines. And then we have 1 Predator in reserves. We always put a Predator in reserves. We got 2 Predator, 3 Predator. And then we go PBC, 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 because we're not too worried about long range shooting because we've cover up because of more times. We go second, and we can obviously put one of these little bits in cover. We can tank Predator shooting pretty well, so I'm not too worried about that. The Carnivore is in strategic reserves as well. And our Bloat Drone, we got 1 up here. Heavy Blight Launch Drone is also just chilling in the pile. Sorry, it's a bit messy at first, these car park lists, as by nature of the beast. Cultists are just going to spread out on home and just chill out. And then I also put a unit of cultists down here on the line here. So they're just going to try and run and get some value. So just like that. Right, so I end up in this one. I think I go... Do I go first in this one? No, my opponent went first. So my opponent goes first. So he moves up his guys to this wall here. He basically just sort of postures around a bit. Does his Bloat Drone, comes 1 round to here. The other one advances onto here. So he's got 2 Bloat Drones sort of chilling down there. This Predator peeks his head out to sort of take some shots. He's bringing sort of just stage. Honestly, not much goes on this turn. It's just a lot of staging, as you can kind of imagine. So the... he got engaged on all fronts for his secondaries. So I think one of these guys over here just kind of just drives on out. Might even be Mortimer. Mortimer comes to like here. But that's pretty much it. There's not too much actually happens here. Oh, sorry, his cultists. Yeah, his cultists on the board. And the cultists just going to get engaged, and they sort of spread out along here towards the middle. But part of that not much. His other secondary was assassination, which does not do anything really. He's got to kill Morty. It's not happening. Yes, we both took -1 save contagion, but do bear in mind Mortarian does ignore the -1 save contagion because it is modifying your save characteristic, not your saving throw. So that is quite an important difference. Mortarian excludes saving throw modifiers, so AP still works, but he 100% can still ignore save characteristics. So not too much happens this first turn. I get my turn. I get area denial and recover assets. So these cultists just move on out to here, and they get area denial. We also advance them, and we basically just make a line across the wall to stop the Death Shroud getting out as easier. We scouted these guys here. Not much happened. And then those guys move up to this wall and advance. So now we have contagion range on one of these Bloat Drones here, which is quite nice. And then we kind of just start shuffling out a bit more. We're being a little bit more ballsy with our stuff. We're just like, okay, all right, let's see how this goes. This Predator just comes to here, gets ready to obliterate the guys. The Plague Marines and the Icon Bearer hop out, move and advance onto this point. And this Bloat Drone over here just sort of moves, advances, and just gets around here. So we're not doing too much at this point. All we're basically doing is looking for Purge. So we're just going to pick up these cultists here. We then drop a Boil Blight. We have recover assets as well. So I think one of these, I think it's this bottom Plague scroll just starts recovering assets. Oh no, sorry, it's up here. It's these guys. The Bloat Drone just comes around to here and starts recovering assets, and the cultists and home start recovering assets. We get in range of Contagion, so we drop Boil Blight, because it drops the drone down to T8, and then we shoot all the mortars at it, and I think we drop it to 2 wounds, which is quite nice. Kind of wish I'd have got it there, but didn't quite get the kill, dropped it quite low. But we did get 1 kill, which gives us a kill when he didn't kill one in his turn, so we're 4 points on primary, which is really nice. So my opponent comes into his turn, he gets marked for death and secure no man's land, so I mark for death like this cultist squad. I think it was like this bloat drone here, which is never going to get shot, Mortarion, and this Rhino over here, so that's never happening. And then he also gets secure no man's land, which he can do. So he scores his 1 for hold primary, and then this turn he obviously, because he's got to get some secure, he puts these Mortarion comes down to here, then they Death Shroud charge on out. Basically, I'm just going to remove them right now. They will get deleted there. The Predator and stuff comes up and they start like shooting away. So we got these guys shooting away at my Predator here. The Brigands come down, start doing some, basically starting to get ready to shoot, as does this Predator to here. And the Flesh Mowers move up. Now, I rapid ingress on the Carnivore right here. So I'm okay for the Carnivore to get shot by 1 Predator, because on odds, especially if I keep my claw behind this wall, which it is, the Predator should not kill the Carnivore. I've got a 3-up save versus the autocannon, and the 2 las cannons are likely to drop 1, and then I have a 5 invulnerable. So I'm going to get some damage on me, but there's a good chance he also just whiffs and doesn't do anything. And I'm not in Contagion, obviously, so quite nice. So this is my opening for this Brigand to come down here and start absolutely punching stuff. So the cultists get murdered there. This thing comes around and just comes and blends these cultists here. Don't want to do that. So these cultists get killed. So we lose cultists. We take a little bit of damage on our Predator here. It doesn't die though. It's just weakened, and this one takes a bit of damage as well. So we go into our turn. So we obviously get our Flamers in range of this guy here. This guy flies to the middle here for Contagion. We drive all these round. We bring in the other Predator down here, and we're just going to light this thing up as much as possible. This PVC drives to over here. Now we've got marked for death and behind enemy lines. So I think the mark for death was, apparently I scored it. I can't remember what it was. Was it this Predator here? Oh, that's fine. We brought the Predator up here. Yeah, it was one. I think it was this back Predator here. So we brought this Predator up here. We popped the banner here, which did just clip that thing, and we fired and we got quite lucky and we managed to basically one pop that dude out there, which is quite nice. So we do one pop that dude. He does bring in the Carnivore down here. We shoot everything in this middle squad and we drop it to basically being, I think it's just the Sorcerer, just the character left. So that's pretty much dead at this point, which is nice. We're ignoring Mortarion. We don't want to shoot Mortarion. We're just ignoring that. The Carnivore comes in, charges, and absolutely smashes this thing to pieces, as you can imagine. And then we managed to kill off the weakened bloat drone that was behind the wall with a mortar here, which is nice. So it's going, at the moment, it's going really, really well. So our opponent's turn, he decides he gets established locus, which annoyingly this little sorcerer is going to do because it lived. The Predator drives back here to get some basically shots off at my Predator up here and keeping safe from my shooting. Mortarion just decides to full send, which is, you know, actually fair enough, like a fair shout. Oh, the Brigands were in reserve, so the Brigands came in. That was it. The Brigands came over here, and they popped this thing instantly. Yeah, that dies. That was it. Sorry, it's hard to remember sometimes all these things. Brigands were in reserve. Let's put both of them in. So they pop that thing. Mortarion gets aggressive, charges into this Predator, definitely murders that thing to death. And then he brings in Typhus and Co. around his this guy here to sort of protect him. The 3 Death Shroud showed up here. Like that. I remember exactly what happened now. So my memory's coming back. The Predator wasn't down here. After this, the Predator came in reserves. So now in my turn 3, the Predator came in reserves here. Because he shot, this is the Heavy Bolter one, which killed the Death Shroud with help of this sprayer drone. They killed that. That was it now. I understand. I remember. It's all come back to me. My Mortarion decides it's go time. Let's go fight a Mortarion. This Brigand moves up and around here. Even though I'm going to get Heroic on, I just want to get rid of his guns. So we charge on into this Predator here. We get Heroic on, which is fine. Fine to get Heroic on there. We do manage to kill that thing and pick it up with the Doodad. With the guy there. We obviously killed the Sorcerer that was in the middle here. All these guns came back to shoot Mortarion, but didn't have a great look on it. The guys just bounced quite a few shots and got quite lucky. And then my Mortarion to his Mortarion, I did 5 hits, I did 5 wounds, and he failed every single invulnerable. So he's taking 20 damage. He CP rolls one of them, passes it, so he's now taking 16 damage. And then he proceeds to pass 10 of the Feel No Pains. Then he swings back at my Morty. All of them hit, all of them wound. I fail all of my saves, and I make 0 of my Feel No Pains, and I die. Because this is a thing that happens in 40k. So this went from looking real good to, oh shit, now I have a genuine problem right now. There is a Mortarion floating around, which is not looking good. The heroic here kills the brigand, so the carnivore as expected, and this is kind of where this guy charges me, doesn't kill him. This is kind of where things just kind of start going weirdly wrong for some reason. All the mortals killed the brigand. That was it. That was the map. One of the brigands is dead. So what was doing really well, I had containment and no prisoners that turn as well, so he went and did containment there, and then my bloat drone that was in reserves came in and just did it like over here. So this is where it kind of starts going wrong though, because my dice decide to just die from now on. So for the next 2 turns, I am about to basically fail to kill anything. And I don't know why. I shoot all these guns at this bloat drone, don't kill it. I'm just trying to hold my objective here. Those guys go behind here. I shoot everything at this brigand, don't kill it. Typhus comes into the middle. We put all the sprayers, that's it, we shoot all these guns into Typhus and co. We kill the Death Shroud down to 1 man and Typhus, so we don't get a kill. Now, we did have Secure No Man's Land. My opponent had Storm and Engage, so my opponent came down and killed that thing. Which obviously gave him Engage, because that's in that quarter. That quarter is Poxwalker's when he's home objective at this point. So things are going to fall apart pretty quickly here, quite roughly. So we don't get a kill, because we shoot everything. We do everything we can. We just can't kill anything. The dice just say no. And I also drew Defend Stronghold, which is about to get ditched because there's a Mortarion in my home objective, so that gets ditched. But we did have Secure No Man's Land, and because the PBC is OC4 to his OC3, we do actually score that for max. So we're getting that. That's not too bad. So then I get 0 kills, so I get no kill. I get no Purge the Foe points. He then gets kill 1, kill more, so he's swung back 8 points there. And then in this final turn, I'm going to have the exact same problem happen, where I draw Bring It Down, which I fail to kill any of these. This is a 2-wound bloat drone. All of this fires and doesn't kill it, because reasons. I was honestly lost for words at this point. I put all my flamers into the Death Shroud, and it again just refused to die. Just passes 4 up invulnerables forever. So I think after all the shooting, so I've got 1 bloat drone, 2, 3, because this one was in range as well, 3 playable scrolls, just about kill the Death Shroud to leave Typhus. Now Typhus is on 1 wound, this bloat drone is on 2 wounds, and this Brigand up here is on 2 wounds. We have Bring It Down to Overwhelming Force, so all cool, we just kill this Typhus, and we kill this, and we kill this, and there's like, what, that's like 5 Bring It Down there, and max Overwhelming Force. We kill the Death Shroud. We kill nothing else. The dice just say no. We charge this guy with all 3 to try and get a tank shock. Fail every single charge roll. Every single one. Even this guy with like a 4-inch charge, failed it. It just fails everything. So up here, failed charge rolls, failed everything. So nothing happens, but we do get kill 1. But thankfully we do manage to get, because we're going second, hold more, which is nice. Even though the brigand walks on here, but obviously because I'm end of turn scoring, we just obviously managed to take it back by driving the PBC on, and then just moving and advancing the rhino down as well. I think he popped the bloat drone with the brigand, so we do manage to hold it, which is because these guys have took shots, by the way. He's put his Gatling gun around the corner, that's why we didn't have the OC on that. But what actually started with a 30-point advantage actually ended up falling apart real quick, just due to Morty absolutely letting me down, and then, you know, dice, I guess, happen, and then my opponent maximising it and being in the position to make the most out of it. So in the end of it, I did have a Morty on my home objective. Yeah, get dice, noob. Yeah, but we still walked away with a 12-8 victory. Ended up being 87 to 75, which was more touchy. surprise Pikachu face than I thought it would be. But we got it. It's all right, and hopefully our dice will not betray us from now on. Thank you for the $2 super chat, though, Strong Boy. Yeah, I got dice were a bit mean towards the end of that game. It was going so smooth. So next up, we're up against the 6++ A team, Alfarius. So Tom Lohman, Chris, who I was against. Really good guys, really fun. And they had it out for us this year because apparently last time, last one, 6 months ago, last of I.T.T, Vanguard Tactics knocked them out by a single point. So they had it out for us. So they had I think it was like a Stormless Task Force. No, this was the Anvilus Siege Force, Ed Watts. They had Gene Stealer Cults, Tom Lohman. They had Creations of Bile, I believe it was, with like 30 or 20 possessed and 10 chosen. An Admech Super Denial list, and then the new Grey Knights detachment. So I got paired into the new Grey Knights. So Crystal Grey Knights, Warpbane Task Force. 1 Kaldor Drago. 1 Brotherhood Champion with the Fights First enhancement. 2 squads of Terminators with the Narthesium, which lets them resurrect a guy a turn. 2 Strike squads. 1 Inceptor squad. 2 Purgation squads. 1 Purifier squad. And 3 Nemesis Dreadnoughts. Yeah, Will is pretty swingy, I won't lie. What would have happened if he double crabbed, would it done? No, the crabs would have saved me. So this mission is take and hold 6 objectives. So lots of things. I want to go second, and thank God I do end up going second. So Kaldor Drago starts on the home objective. He has his little Scout-y Marines here. There's another squad of Scout-y Marines over here. There's his Purifiers, who just like sat behind somewhere. Indirect guys over here. Another squad of indirect guys in the middle. And then he's got his... Where's the Shooty Scooty boys? I've missed the Shooty Scooty boys. So right, you will become Shooty Scooty boys. So these are the Shooty Scooty boys as well. And then he has 1 unit of Terminators and Deep Strike. He has 1 Dread Knight back here. 1 Dread Knight back here. And 1 Dread Knight is currently in reserve. So he's got 2 in reserve. So now I'm looking at this game and I'm like, right, okay. I'm going second. All I had to do is hold primary, and if I can get some indirect Boil Blights off here and they get some good value, he has so little units that as soon as they start dying, he's going to run out of stuff to do things very quickly. So we put 1 unit of Cultists strung all across the line, because if we get first turn, we can scout and sticky both of them, which is obviously really, really nice. Rhino's going to go down here. That entire thing is going to go drop some Marines on here and exist for all game. Then we're going to put PBC sort of sticking out, because again, I'm fine. If he wants to expose a Dread Knight to start taking me on in a tank duel, I'll take his tank duel all day. So I put the Heavy Bolter Predator in reserves, along with the Carnivore. Because again, if I get a single line of sight onto any of these units, the Heavy Bolter guys should pick them up quite easily. Cultists are on home here. Another unit of Cultists up top to potentially run sort of like, disruption. Mortimer, again, I'm not too worried about Mortimer being shot, so Mortimer's just going to take sort of centre stage here and just be happy and proud to be a Mortimer. Another Predator Destructor here. Another Plagueburst Crawler bringing up the front. Again, I am not that scared. And then 2 Bloat Drones behind here. And another Bloat Drone to go and support this Rhino a little bit here. So, my opponent gets first turn. He draws on his first turn. Let me get to round 1. He gets Established Locus, which luckily for him on this mission you can actually do just from the very corner of this ruin. So he just puts his guys. I wish he was able to expose the unit, but he doesn't. He just gets a cheeky sneak in that corner there, and he gets marked for death, which I obviously just pick 3 impossible to kill things. So no, he's not getting that, unfortunately. But it's a CP for him, so he's going to get Established Locus. This squad scouted and moved and advanced into, and then just got to here. Didn't manage to get the advance roll, so he just got to here. So he's got no C on this objective here. So he goes scout 6, move 6, advance. So he just gets onto there. I've just scouted up against the wall, and then I scouted against these walls down here. These guys are just scouted here and there. So honestly, very little happens this turn. I think his turn is over in like 30 seconds flat. He walks into the corner, and then he just waits, because I mean, you might as well. There's no reason to sort of push this out. There's no reason to be daft with it. So he's just gonna bide his time. which is fair enough. So in my turn, I just drive this Rhino out, drop out the Plague Marines onto the corner of the point with all the nice OC in the world. The bloat drone follows up behind them. We're all hugging the wall as much as possible so we don't get shot, because we don't want to get shot here. Over here, we move and advance the cultists. Managed to get enough guys onto the objective that just our OC, I think he had 2 guys on it, so that's 4 OC, versus our, like, we managed to get like 6 on it. So they're going to die, but that's fine. We'll just basically, we're basically just going to, you know, deny primary for a turn. That's fine by us. We just kind of do a bit of shuffling. Not too much happens. When we don't manage to get in range for a Boil Blight on this advance, unfortunately, so no mortars can fire. So we fire all the mortars at, like, this squad here. They've got 2 up save, and I think we kill 1 dude. It's fine. It's what it is. Part of that, it's pretty much just shuffling around a little bit. Not too much happens. We get extend battle lines and storm hostile objectives. So we've got that. We've stormed this one up here, and we've extended. So knowing that we're going second and we got that, and we're holding him to 1 primary because he's on nothing else, we're happy with that. So my opponent goes into his second turn. He picks up his Dread Knights. He picks up his... God, I got to pick up so many things in this one. He picks up his Purgation Squad from here and basically drops it back over here. And drops his Dread Knight here as well. He decides it's not the go turn. He picks it up, but he only gets no prisoners and secure no man's land. So he's just going to basically have his scoot and shooter guys move out so they can see this Plague Burst Crawler. They'll provide indirect fire for the silencers, because if they can see something, the Purgation Squads can indirect shoot. So those guys indirect shoot off are planning to indirect shoot off the cultists. Everything else is pretty much hiding. That'll get him secure for 2, and then they can scoot and shoot behind the wall. So he can get no prisoners for 2, secure for 2. I throw a little wrench in the works because nothing is covering this angle down here. Now, a War Dog can't fit his base down here, so there's no worried about Rapid Ingress Charge. But what he didn't expect was the Rapid Ingress Predator. So the Predator shows up because there's nothing to shoot him on this line here. And what I can do is I can drive the Predator to this wall, my gun barrel sticks past the wall, and I can see these Marines and I'm going to shoot the shit out of them. So this Predator comes in here and be the right sneaky little bugger. So that's Rapid Ingress. So he does what he does. Those guys get obliterated. He falls back behind the wall. We hold 2 on primary, so we get a nice 10. And in my turn, I get Containment. So Containment is quite easy. This bloat drone just flies out to here, does Containment there. This one here, or the Rhino, does it to here. Nice and easy. Now, I'm worried in his turn, he's going to Rapid Ingress something and come and kill all these Plague Marines. So he's just going to drop a Terminator Squad here and come and kill all the Plague Marines. So if he wants to not do that, he can just send the Strike Squad and the same result happens. He takes the objective or kills the Plague Marines. So I'm like, either way, I'm losing this bottom objective. He's not going to let me hold it for another turn. So I re-embark inside the Rhino and put the Rhino on it. So he still needs a reason to come and take it off me, but he's only going to kill a Rhino. My Plague Marines will still be safe. And if he charges and kills the Rhino, I can just disembark, potentially put 2-3 OC guys on the point and maybe even steal it back. So we re-embark there. The Predator drives on up, sticks his gun barrel around the corner. This bloat drone floats, is just containment. So he's doing containment there. So happy days. And then, this one moved up as well. He was like there. This bloat drone just flies over to there to deny primary in case some guys live. And we're basically just going to fire the Predator into this guys and a lot of mortars. So we've got our containment, we've got our secure no man's land for max. So we're happy. We've got 10 on primary. Again, I'm not pushing now. One thing to bear in mind. If I do not push out with these cultists, my opponent will Rapid Ingress a unit of Terminators strung between these two and he'll hold 3 for a turn. And I almost forgot until I said, wait, I need to do... I actually said to my opponent, I need to do this. So I move and advance these cultists and make a nice big wall so that no one can drop within 9 of these 2 objectives here. So he can't do that. So this turn, he's not Rapid Ingressing on any objective. The only Rapid Ingress he's going to get is potentially come and kill these guys. So we're quite happy at this point. We pop Boil Blight over here, we fire away, and we kill them all, except the captain who lives on a single wound. My opponent gave them a 4-point vulnerable, which is a good smart. So this captain is alive on 1 wound. This called Brotherhood Champion, whatever it is. But again, we're happy, we're scoring points, we maxed our secondaries. And again, I should probably be getting more aggressive at this point. That's one thing we'll talk about then I need to learn. But so far, so good. So, I'm glad you like the graphics, Liam. thank you, mate. They've re-embarked. Carnival's just chilling in reserve still. I was like, okay, want to bring them out. So he picks up the Dread Knights and he brings Dread Knight 1 here, Dread Knight 2 here, just in case he wants to kill them. And then everything else sort of just stays where it is. So these guys here stay in reserves as well. He brings the strike squad down onto this objective as sort of expect to take it off me, because he has extend battle lines and storm hostile objective. So that there is going to get him storm and extend there. Really nice. So all he needs to do now is basically one knight comes here to kill that bloat drone. That's it. One knight comes here, one knight there, and the third one comes behind just in case. So he just needs to kill this predator, this bloat drone, and his little captain will basically sit there and hold primary for him, which is quite nice. He does the shooty scooty thing with these inceptors again, so these guys get picked up by all the indirect fire, which makes sense. He's took the objective off me here, and then these guys both shoot the predator. They kill it. Hilariously explodes though as it goes away and finishes off the one wound captain. So now he has nothing on that, so he's not going to get his primary, which is a bit upsetting for him. And then this one also pops this bloat drone here. So not bad for him though, not bad, but obviously not as ideal as he probably wanted it to be. So my turn, I get bring it down and engage on all fronts. So I'm like, okay, cool. What we'll do is we're going to get the Marines out now. They're going to kill the strike squad. The little bloat drone comes around so we can spray stuff. These guys, again, push out further than they can get just to push back any rapid ingress onto the point. But they're all going to shoot these guys here. Bloat drone moves on up to here. This PBC just drives straight onto this wall so we can get contagion range on this Dread Knight. Mortimer comes up to here so we can see the Dread Knight. This guy comes to here with his ass sticking out so you can see the Dread Knight. And this guy's, we start getting way more aggressive now. We're just like, okay, let's get aggressive now. So this guy just pulls back to there, and he's covering the rapid ingress again. So these guys are strung out as much as possible to, here to again push back any rapid ingresses he can do. And then I bring on the carnivore, but I actually end up just bringing it on in a fairly safe. I just bring him on here because I'm in a happy position. I don't feel like I need to be aggressive with it, so I'm going to keep it for later and just move him up. And then he's within range that he could go and walk onto this thing. I could potentially keep it for rapid ingress. I didn't rapid ingress at this turn because there was no great places to go. Possibly could have, but I was like, you know what? I'll just preserve assets at this point. So we fire everything, and we managed to kill this Dread Knight here. The shooty screws are going to be on the wall again. We managed to kill this strike squad here, and that gets us mini engage and a bring it down for 2, which is quite nice. Now, comes to my opponent's turn 4. He only holds 5 again. He's been held to single primary turn, and he's like, right, we got to go for it. We've got to go for it now. So he picks up Drago. Drago comes down here. So Drago's here. Brings down his paladins here. So he's got 2 units of Terminators. The Dread Knight comes down. This Dread Knight comes to here, and he's going for it. He's going for the go time now. These guys walk out. This Purifier squad, and he shoots at and kills this bloat drone here. He makes the charges here and the one with the +3 charge of Khal Drogo. They kill the Plague Marines. Khal Drogo consolidates there. They consolidate to there. So he's killed 2 units that were on objectives, 3 because the Icon Bearer unfortunately was on the objective as well. My bad. He gets assassination because he kills the Icon Bearer, and now he's going to hold me to a single primary, which is good. And I get Establish Locus and Defend Stronghold. Now, right now, I could 100% do Establish Locus. I could just go, yeah, do it. But on a turn like this, when my opponent's exposed so much, the 2 points I get from Establish Locus in the middle are just not worth it. They're just not worth it. So what I decided to do instead is I'm going to bin it for a CP at the end of the turn. So I get Defend Stronghold, which we've pretty much got. And I'm going to just look to do as much damage as possible. So all the Flamers move up. We got all the range on the Flamer. Flamer. This guy comes down here. He can see a line here to see some Terminators. So he's happy there. This Predator also drives up to there. So we've got a lot of lines of sight. This Mortimer comes up to here. And we fire absolutely everything. And we kill Drago's entire unit. We even charge and tank shock this. And we leave one single Terminator alive. And I'm thinking, great. We hold that with 3OC. He's 3OC. But what I kind of forgot was these guys resurrect 1 model a turn. So he's actually going to hold this primary, which was a nice play on my opponent's part. But we then charge Mortimer into this Dread Knight. And we smack him. We roll 5 attacks. We get 4 ones and a hit. And then the hit rolls a 2 to wound. Mortimer. And then the Dread Knight returns fire, gets 2 wounds through on Mortarion. I fail the invulns. And then he rolls double 6 for damage, and Mortarion takes 14, of which I pass 3 feel no pains, so Morty's on like 5 wounds. Morty. So, yeah, Morty's rough. Morty's not great. But he does do an important job. He's just having a bad dice day. Morty's dice just aren't doing great. But that's a pretty good turn. So this Dread Knight, after being shot as well, this Dread Knight got shot quite a bit. It's on like 3 wounds. So this Dread Knight falls back onto this objective to try and stop my dude. It's turn 5 now, crazily. He has engaged in all fronts in Defense Stronghold. This Knight just walks up to here to make sure he's got engage. I think one of his squads just drops down like here for engage again, because he gets max points on it. The Terminator squads are alive and just going to survive. And he also gets defend, which I can't really touch. When this Dread Knight falls back from Morty, Experiment can fall back shooting charge. I overwatch it with the Plague Spitter one, and the Plague Spitters get 8 hits and do 4 wounds, and he fails all the invulns because the Slave B2 ignores cover. And we actually pick that guy up in Overwatch, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. So we're quite happy with that. These guys come on out. They're just trying to deny me at this point. But again, yeah, Dread Knights are only T8 Chukanori. They're really good. Twos don't wound. Oh my god, the freaking strength 14. Oh, only T7. Why did I do that? That was a wound. It wouldn't have killed it anyway. To be honest, given my luck, it doesn't help me with the. It doesn't help me with the 4 ones to hit. To be honest, that was the main issue. Was the 4 ones to hit. I'm so not used to them being T8. I look at them, I'm like T9, T10. I forget they're like T8. But honestly, not much happens. He tries to deny me primary, which is fair enough. In my turn, I get cleanse and area denial. So all I have to do is literally the PBCs drive onto these objectives. The Predators look in the general direction of these guys. Kill. Double cleanse there, plus an area denial. Mortimer walks on here. OC6 to the Dread Knight. He cleanses that, so we get triple cleanse, even though we do 2. And then we pick up the area denial as well, and we hold 15 at the end of the game. And that does bring us over to a nice, solid 12-8 victory. And our team won the round 56-44, which is quite nice. So, I could have probably been more aggressive. I probably could have pushed for a much bigger win. But again, you can see my natural defensive playstyle, like, struggling to put the pressure on when I probably could have. Like, when that Dread Knight's, like, when I should have forced the Dread Knights out earlier, killed them quicker, and then the rest of it can't touch me. Like, the rest of it's just not really a threat. But the turn he did expose his 10 Terminators, they all got picked up. Like, one guy lived. Like, this list hurts when it connects. It really, really hurts. So, yeah, when Mortarion's killing stuff, he's the Demon Primarch or the Death Guard. When he's flubbing Comet Rolls, he's Mortimer. Yeah, he's Mortimer. But yeah, again, really happy. So after day 1, 3 really solid wins there. Super happy about it. And then the next day, we get put into 2 Dans, 1 Tank, who is actually includes a member of both Team England and the Red Path, our friends over there. So obviously they've brought a World Eaters player, Nurgle Demons player, a Death Guard player again, who's in our Discord as one of our members, Tank Roberts. Hello, Tank. Tau and Necrons, and once again, I think the discussion was the same on Tank's team. Nobody wants to face the Death Guard tank gunline, so here we go again, boys. We in the mirror. But this is a Mortulus mirror. Now, anyone who doesn't know, Morty versus Mortulus is pretty rough because I get to ignore his army rule, he doesn't. So it's a bit grim. And this one, we're playing Burden of Trust. So home isn't worth anything. You have to sort of stand around in objectives and say you're going to guard them and all that stuff. Now, learning from last game, you're going to see I'll learn a bit more. So, Tank puts 2 Predators in reserves, and I think he puts all 3 Cultists in reserves, because again, we both just worried about them dying. So I think I do the exact same, plus the old Carnivore here. Now, the reason I've learned is I play very different. I put Mortimer right here. He's gunning straight for this. I'm going to stand on this all goddamn game. My Rhino takes up the same position as before. My opponent's got 1 Predator over here. He's got a Brigand over here, Brigand over here. Then he's got his bloat drones all scattered around the place, doing things. Got a bloat drone here, PBC here. PBC just behind. He puts his Typhus brick down behind this wall, being nice and scary. And he's got another PBC like here, and another PBC like here. and like bloaty drone and a bloaty drone. Bloat drone's just doing bloat drone things. So I kind of almost mirror it pretty much. So I go Plaguestorm crawler here. Again, we're using this. I'm happy to take a tank fight if you want to tank fight me. I'll use the cover from it to start a tank fight. Second one here, the predators I'm a bit more careful with. I've got one of my predators in reserves. Another predator here. Heavy blight launch drone's also chilling. So again, we're going to sticky home at least, minimum. And then we've got a predator in reserves at the top. The third Plaguestorm crawler is also just here on the ruins bit. We both put a unit cultist down in case we got first turn. That was it, just in case. Just in case. You never know when you got to sticky that middle objective. You never know. Another bloat drone down here. I always send a bloat drone around just to support it. I just really like having that option there. And another bloat drone up there to support Mortimer. So these are on reserves. So my opponent first turn gets area denial and my opponent gets cleanse and establish locus. And I can't remember which he went first. Let me just double check that very quickly. Close that. Yes, I would like to look at it, please. So back. How do I break down the game again? Please open the game. There we go. Edit. There we go. Apologies, guys. My opponent goes first. Yeah, so my opponent does move on to the middle, does sticky that objective, and then runs away, as per we'd expect. And then he brings out his predator and begins the sort of tank duel into my my thing over here. He moves this bloat drone with the PVC to like here. Can't really get shots on it, but not too much happens. He's like I said, he's got area denial and extend. But he's got tank's got engage in all fronts and recover assets. So this bloat drone just starts recovering assets over here, plus like this PVC, not much happens. This bloat drone moves down to here. But yeah, very little happens. Like I said, he moved out, he stickied it, and then he basically just ran back to safety, which is, fair enough. Part of that, not too much happens. He does a bit of chip damage to this PVC, but that starts off the fight. I get containment and storm hostile objective, so the cultists just move out to here. Morty bombs in advance and literally goes straight to here, followed by a bloat drone. Now, normally I'd be like, keep Morty with your castle to make use of the rule, but I really wanted to use Morty's OC to just destroy this point. I wanted to be like, you never hold this point, because again, I have the Plague Marines, he doesn't. So I move up this Rhino over here, and the bloat drone, and we just disembark the boys onto it. So happy day, they're just going to be there. They're just going to chill. And we're just going to chill there. So we have the OC on here that this bloat drone can't really compete with. We took the middle here, and we got Mortimer denying up here. We fire back with our las cannons, our mortars, everything we've got. We basically just we just move out like dirt. We just put all our tanks so we can see as much as possible, including the heavy blight launch drone. And we managed to pop that predator on the first turn, which is quite nice. A bit of advantage for us. So we're quite happy there. We got our containment points because we've got the Rhino doing it down here. We got the bloat drone doing it over here, and we got storm hostile objective. So really nice. So then my not containment. We had area denial and extend battle lines. So nice, easy first turn. Second turn, my opponent has engage, and so first turn he had cleanse and locus. That was it. So he did put his cultists out in the middle. They did locus. So they cleanse. The Terminator's in the corner did locus. So we traded cultists. I came out, killed his cultists with my sprayers and that. And then in his turn, he's going to kill my cultists. So he brings around the brigand. He decides, fuck it. He was debating whether to just have this fight with me. And he decides to go fuck it. So he full sends the fight. He brings in both his predators from reserves. And the full-on gunline battle begins. So I rapid ingress on the carnivore to here. And you can guess where he's going. He's going to bolt up there and just go punch a brigand to death. So these guys get absolutely deleted. So on tanks 2, he has engage and recover assets. So this thing just walks on. He starts recovering assets. Plus, I think it's this PVC. Oh, he's moved this PVC moved here and then moved down here. So this PVC is doing recover assets. Plus this bloat drone back here. Oh, there's a Terminator. Terminator's it. In his deployment zone, do it. So, thanks, Chukanori. Excellent. Yeah, Morty does feel really important in the mirror. So we fire away. I do end up losing one of my predators as well from the brigands, melters and stuff, but everything else sort of lives. He kills one of them, that's fine. I'm okay with that trade. Then in my turn, I get this is where I get containment and storm hostile. So the Rhino here does containment. This bloat drone here, he does containment over here. So I bring in my Predator from reserves, and we're just going to take this tank duel. This Brigand roly-poly's up here, and this is where the tech piece comes in. The Plague Marines didn't disembowel this turn, apologies, it was just the Rhino point. The Plague Marines get out, and they move and they advance up to here, like strung out quite a bit. We get overwatched by a bloat drone, but it's not too bad. And we pop the banner, which manages to get this Brigand, this Predator here, in contagion range. So then we pop Bioblight and we pick up that Predator pretty damn easily. And then we managed to, I think we also managed to put a lot of damage on this Brigand here. Can't remember if we kill it. We actually might. Let me check the thing. I think we do actually, yeah, we do actually kill it. And then we get the charge off with the Carnivore and we obliterate that guy there, which, you know, is pretty good. There's a pretty good turn. So, no, it's not going great. Opponent has to make something happen, so he gets extend battle lines and sabotage. So the bloat drone just starts doing sabotage and extend battle lines. He brings out the Terminators, who are just going to come and kill this fella here. The Predator shoots back a bit. Does actually manage to kill another Predator as well. He gets two lads cannons through. There's not much you can do about that. Brings in some cultists. I think it's down here. That's it. Brings the squad down there and the squad up here. PBC starts to push. I put the bloat drone ready to go onto here next turn, so the PBC can't reach and it can't fit because he has to come around here. PBC comes around. The charge and that's it. The mortals from Typhus help finish off the Predator, and then the charge kills the Carnivore. Well, that means Typhus is now exposed, so I'm okay with that. So in my turn, we drop. These guys also get killed, which is fine. You know, kind of expected. That is what is. That's fine. But now we start getting aggressive with the PBCs because Typhus and stuff are out, so we get aggressive. We move Morty down, so he's still touching the objective, but he starts to give his buffs out to these. So we get 3 tanks in range. He comes up, he comes up, he comes up, and the bloat drone fits like here. These all fire at Typhus and Co, and they drop him to just Typhus, so they've pretty much like done a smashing number on there. We then charge and tank shot and kill Typhus. Again, this guy's moved on to here, so once again we're still denying primary constantly at the top here. Round here, the bloat drone floats around. We used the mortars that didn't have to shoot there to kill this bloat drone with the shooting of this guy, and the cheeky Rhino popping its ass out to there and shooting. Also didn't shoot it. No, it stayed there. So we brought in some cultists, by the way, just to screen out a load of random nonsense. It doesn't really matter. They don't do anything all game. So again, we're quite happy here. This Predator we just kind of let live for a bit because it was more important to kill the Terminators. Predator comes forward, shoots at us. I think he ends up killing the bloat drone, which broke my heart. Which breaks my little heart. It's my favourite thing. And this entire game, by the way, so this Predator's been sat on. I had to retract that move because I kept Predator here because he's birding a trusting, so he's been sat on this one this entire time. So we've just been birding him with this and birding with Morty on this one because again, try and take Morty off this point, try and take this Predator or PBC off this point, whichever one I wanted to keep alive. So in round 4, my opponent gets secure no man's land, which the PBC just drives onto here, which can't do much about. And then I think the Predator drives to there, and this PBC drives to there. There's not much I can do again. He takes that off me. So he gets secure for max, but he also is behind enemy lines, which he doesn't get. I then get overwhelming force and assassination. So we get assassination automatically because Typhus is dead, and then we're just like, okay, cool. We're gonna kill this thing. So Morty comes over. We shoot the Predator to death. We manage to charge and manage to kill this thing here, which can sort onto the objective. So we get overwhelming force, we get assassination, and again we're holding burden quite nicely. My opponent's been held to 0 primary at the moment. Pretty much most game he gets one. I think it's 1 turn here. Yeah, 1 turn because PBC out OCs me because I did move the Rhino off. So he gets Defend Stronghold. I said to him I'm never going to touch that, so he gets 3 points there. He also gets Storm Hostile Objective, which unfortunately these cultists don't manage to make it onto a point. Because again, can't take that off me because we're equal. He's got no chance to take this off me, and he already holds this, so he doesn't manage to get Storm Hostile Objective. In my turn 5, I get Cleanse and no prisoners. So this guy just comes to here. This guy plus the sprayers kill the cultist. There's 1 no prisoners. Mortimer comes up to here, contagion, mortars and stuff, kill that thing, and the rest of the shooting that we had left over picks up this picks up the remembrance of this PBC here. So we managed to get maximum on that. So it was a bit grim. He had awful secondaries, I won't lie. But we managed to get an 18-2 victory on that one, and it really does show Morty versus no Morty is pretty grim. It's not the greatest matchup to take, unfortunately, but like I said, he had someone to take the matchup when none of the other team wanted to take it. So, and his cards were terrible. Tank had the worst cards I've ever seen. He just kept drawing stuff he couldn't score. It happens sometimes, unfortunately. It is the way it goes. But it's again an excellent game from Tank. Tank's had a game with me where it was literally 1 point difference between us, so it's nothing on Tank's skill. This was just a matchup that he didn't want. Plus me going second was quite nice. I kind of miss Typhus a little bit. Sometimes I'd really just wish I had Mortals. But other times like not so much. I don't know. It's weird. I don't think he fits in the list. I don't think I need him. But like, if I just grew 80 points somewhere, it'd be the first thing I put in. That's for sure. But it would be nice just to have something to deep strike and do actions and still do mortals. So then we come to the final round. Morty hard counters Death Guard. Yeah, no, the truth. It's weird. So this is the final game of the main 5. Crow Team 6, Black Crow Gaming. It was Dan Brook Walter. So Dan Brook was the World Eaters player from the Red Path. And I think he went against Mike Porter, Gene Steel Occult player. So Black Crow Gaming has Votan, Dark Eldar, Dark Angel Stormlance, World Eaters, and Necrons. So I wanted nothing to do with... Was it the last one I had Necrons? Yes. By the way, just to shout out, this Necron player had 2 Tesseract Vaults, Silent King, and I don't know how Mike Costello held it to a 9-11 loss, but props to that guy with his guard, because I did not want to face 2 Tesseract Vaults, so well done, Mike, for taking that for the team. So, in here, I'm thinking, okay, I will happily fight either the Votan, because again, we'll get into a good fight there, or I will fight the World Eaters. So, I get paired into the World Eaters. So, Sam Dickinson's World Eaters. It's a very standard World Eater list here. Angron, Lord Invocatus, Master of Executions, 2 squads of Jackals, 1 squad of Big Corn Berserkers with a Master of Executions with them, 1 squad of 5 Corn Berserkers, 2 squad of 3 8-bound, 1 squad of 6 Exalted 8-bound, 1 squad of 3 Exalted 8-bound, 2 Chaos Spawn, and a Chaos Rhino. And I was a bit nervous this, because I was like, okay, how does the car park do versus melee rushdown? So we'll have to see how it works out. But I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. So in this one, we're thinking about screens. So like, okay, screens. We need to think about screens all the time. So I'm just gonna get the deployment down. So we got that there. All right, up here with the 10 Berserkers in it. The 1 massive squad of Exalted 8-bound right there, which is gonna scout. The second squad of 3 Exalted 8-bounds in reserves. He's got Jackals here to sticky home. He's got Jackals over here. Chaos Spawn down here. Normal 8-bound, normal 8-bound. Just chilling in there. And then Lord Invocatus to give them all scout. So, yeah. It's kind of intimidating, won't lie. So we put Mortimer over here. And put our Rhino here. We have our Cultist number 1 over here. Cultist number 2 down here. Cultist number 3 at home. I keep the Carnivore on the table, because again, I'm going to need him like a linebacker here, because I mean, I'm going to need to punch Angron depending if he goes up or down, so he's going to fit in right here. And then we put a Bloat Drone up over here. Right there. Put a Predator up here so we can take this angle here if I want it, this nice firing lane down here, because again, I'm not worried about his shooting. And then I have PBC, you never guess where this is going, Heavy Bolter, Predator down the bottom, another Bloat Drone at the front, here. And then we have, so that's more like down that way. Yeah, it's like that. And then another PBC. So we have a PBC parking lot down here, really. And a Predator over here, this was a misplay. Don't put a Predator here against this. Have him either here or down here to get lines here and here. Over here, he was a bit too late to get involved in the fight, but it's my own mistake. We learn from them. And right there. So we're sort of meeting them on the line, but our line is mainly cultists. bloat drones, which I don't really care too much about, and cultist wall again, and a rhino. So if he wants to connect into any of this, I'll make sure I hit back harder. And I do have one singular PVC at the front here, which I will sacrifice if I've got to take like, because again, if he comes and connects into Angron here, I have 3 predators, 2 of these, and a carnivore ready to light up Angron, so I'm okay with that one there. So I actually get first turn, which is quite nice. So we do all our scouts. So my opponent scouts his 8 bound into here, scouts his normal 8 bound into back safe here, and same over here. It's like down here. So he's just done a bit of scouting. I scout my cultists forward, make walls, and spread out back. So we move in advance, and first turn we get area denial and extend battle lines, I think it is. Is it extend battle lines? Sorry, apologies. There we go. So first turn I get, area denial, extend battle lines. So we get extend, naturally. We get area denial, but these guys are right against the wall, so they're within 6 when I get baby area denial. But what we do is we wrap the wall as much as possible with guys, and then we put a boil blight on it, and we fire away with the PVCs, and we end up killing 2 exalted 8 bound, which is pretty good. Pretty good off the bat. We just want to get that 6-man squad down in strength so it can't one-shot like Mortarion, etc. I always take -1 save, Chris. I just like -1 save. It's just like, die. It's the die button. It's the, you come within 12, I kill you. I don't like -weapon skill, ballistic skill, because dead models deal no damage. I'd rather just kill them. And that allowed me to kill 2 right there. So we start filling in gaps with like the bloat drone, so that more Angron, for example, just can't get in. Now I do make a bit of a cock up with this here. I make a weird chain, and there's just no reason for me to do that. I should have just spread these out more, but this PVC comes to here, that was there. Because what happens is in his turn, he has the exalted 8 bound come down to here, Angron comes down to here, and then I think it's was it these guys? Because they're so fast, this goddamn army. Yeah, the normal 8 bound comes to here. These chaos spawn go to here. These 8 bound run down to there. These guys run down to there. This army's so ridiculously fast. This rhino moves to here, and these jackals move to here. And what I allow him to do, he goes into his charges. The 8 bound charge into the cultists, so does Angron. And then the 8 bound charge into bloat drone. So what's actually going to happen here is that the exalted 8 bound activate and kill the cultists, which then lets him roll blood blessing, and he goes for sustained hits. Angron then piles into the bloat drone, kills that, allows these guys to pile in, but I kept my CP for this. So I didn't bother by them. That was just normal shooting with the -1 save contagion, because I knew I needed to keep 2 CP, because that will keep him alive on average versus these guys here. So these guys swing in. I have the -1 damage up, and the PVC lives on like, I think it's like 4 or 5 wounds, because the -1 damage really helps that thing out in living there, which is quite nice. So, but my opponent did get overwhelming force and recover assets. So he's got overwhelming force. He's murderized them things there, and he starts doing assets with the spawn. And I think it's the Invocatus who just like nips back, or maybe the jackals, something like that. It was a schoolboy error, Craig. It was a schoolboy error. But at the same time, now I do have Angron, 6 exalted 8 bound and 3 here in my face. So I'm like, okay, all right, let's punk Angron. So we bring down the carnivore. These guys all stay still because you can see Angron. We move this bloat drone up, and then these cultists move, and I want to charge this rhino and wrap it so the guys can't get out. My opponent very cleverly rapid ingresses his 8 bound, so if I charge that, he can heroic intervention on him, which is a bit annoying. The rhino moves up, Mortimer moves up. This predator comes to here, so it can see. It goes up there, so we can see this rhino. Try and last cannon it, because I was like, if I can last cannon it, I can maybe open it up and shoot some mortars at it. Again, this schoolboy error here on this predator can't really see much, so it starts moving down, but still can't do anything, which is annoying. Very bad deployment there. Just shouldn't have put it there. Not in a million years should I put that predator there. It should have been like here or something, so it could move up to here. But it is what it is. This bloat drone floats to here. So we fire absolutely everything at Angron, and we drop him to 3 wounds. So this is a nice wounded Angron. This guy sprays into combat and machine into combat, and ends up killing 2 more 8 bound. Oh, sorry, no, 1 8 bound and drops 1 to 1 wound. So there's quite a weakened things there. The big carnivore charges into Angron, and he drops 4 wounds on Angron, and then he rolls 3 invulnerables, fails 1. He command points the 1. Thank God he fails it. So Angron does end up going down here, which is quite nice. And the 8-bound do end up actually finishing off the poor Plagueburst Crawler. We don't manage to wrap this Rhino here. We don't manage to kill it either, which is a bit upsetting. But we kill a decent amount of stuff. So we get on our turn 2, we had cleanse and recover assets. So the cleanse was done by the Rhino. Mortarion started recovering assets, and the Predator that was doing nothing started recovering assets as well. Oh, sorry, the Cultist back here. So my opponent then brings in his big Berserker squad out the back of this Rhino, so it drives over here, they get out of it, move across. They're going to try and charge Morty and the Rhino, because they want to kill Mortimer, because the Master of Execution hurts like hell. Sorry, the 5 Berserkers like back here. The 5 Berserkers move on to this point. The Jackals come to charge the Cultists. The other squad of Exalted 8-bound starts moving on through as well. They come and charge this guy here. The Invocatus moves on to the middle point. The Exalted 8-bound down here. Charging down, like this. These 3 Exalted 8-bound go to charge this, this Carnivore. And my opponent has drawn a Containment, so, sorry, that was wrong too, yeah. So Containment, he goes, spawn here, and the Rhino does it up there, that's it. So he charges in, and it's actually does quite a bit of damage. So the Carnivore does go down, this Bloat Drone goes down, and then they charge into this bottom one, into this PBC here. Now, this is looking kind of bad at the moment, but I'm kind of okay with it, because I'm like, okay, hear me out. This PBC makes its fallback, then these two get absolutely deleted, because I've got 2 Predators, one with a heavy bolter staring down. This charge goes off on Morty, just chunk Morty. Jackals come and kill the Cultists, so I'm out of Cultists, but I've still got quite a bit. I've got quite a bit cooking here. I've got quite a bit still in the oven, so I'm like, all right, we're not done yet. So Morty takes like 8 or 7 damage. He's fine. He's all right. Good on his Feel the Pains. Kills a bunch of the guys back on the swing back. Obviously, I don't precision out the Master Executions. I'm trying to save my CP. So it's all right. In my turn 3, it's only turn 3. I get Defend Stronghold and bring it down. So the Predator over here just moves a bit, so it can get some line of sights down here. Absolutely obliterates the 5 Berserkers. The Rhino and Morty shooting a Lantern to get a 6 on the sustain, quite nice. Kill a couple of guys. The Rhino kills enough guys to drop them down to just the Master of Executions, which is important because it means they lose fight first. So I'm like, okay, cool. These Plague Marines are they're gonna after shooting all these Cultist Jackals here with the Bloat Drone, which they do. They shoot all that, get rid of all that. They're going to be able to charge in and kill that Master Executions first. The last cannons connect and go through at AP4 and kill that. And then down at the bottom, we managed to open up absolutely everything for Boiled Light. We absolutely eradicate the, the Exalted 8-bound. And this guy's fallen back as well. And the rest of them managed to kill the normal 8-bound as well. So he's running out of quite a bit here. We charge back into the Doodad and kill that guy. So on this point, we've got a Rhino and Plague Marines. So quite happy now. My opponent turn, he gets behind enemy lines. So this guy runs on through to get behind enemy lines. He does see a line of play with the with the Invocatus, where he comes up to the Plague Marine. So his idea is he comes in, he kills the Plague Marines there, and then because he's OC2 and I'm OC2, he'll be able to basically hold that objective, or at least take it off me. Then he sends these guys through here, which was the more confusing play. He's behind this wall at this point, trying to charge through. Jackals move up to here. So he does some charges. These guys charge, and I think they batter up this Predator and kill that thing. The Invocatus charges and does kill all the Plague Marines. Now, he's done it in a clever way where I can't basically heroic onto him, which is upsetting. But what then he does is he makes a big blunder. He charges the 8-bound into the Morty, which we're never going to kill him. But it means that when Morty swings back, Morty pops sustained hit stratagem, does kill them, and then I get to just consolidate back onto the objective. So all of the plans to get my OC off there was like rendered null and void by that silly charge into Morty. Which is, it happens, unfortunately. It is what it is. And then in my turn, I just basically start driving forward super aggressively. I'm just like, okay, cool. We're going to pick up these guys on the way back. This Bloat Drone moves and advances and starts going towards his home objective. Morty and co basically just stare at this Lord Invocatus ready to shoot him. Starts moving towards the middle. Invocatus gets picked up. These guys get picked up. Some Jackals also end up dying here. The Chaos Sponsor came here last turn, so they died. And then in my opponent's last turn, last turn on the board, he goes for he gets area denial, which he does move in advance, and there's nothing I can stop, really, for him to get there. He gets there, gets area denial for max, but he can't score anything else, can't really bring it down. So in my turn, I just walk onto that. I, in my last turn, get marked for death. He has to pick the spawn. There's nothing else he can do. And I have established locus, which this guy does back on his home objective. And we killed those guys. And that's him. That's him tabled at the start of. He was basically tabled at the end of 4, but he had their spawn alive. So I was surprised at how well this list did against the World Eaters. But again, once units start exposing themselves, the damage this list can do is kind of insane. Like. What, and bear in mind, oh my god, there's 8 rolls to bring Angron back. I had to deal with it every turn. My heart stopped with Angron potentially coming back, but thankfully, he never got the 666. Thank God. I hate that rule. It's so stupid. But overall, I was quite happy how this list did against melee pressure. You do have to be willing to sacrifice the tanks that don't matter. So I had like the entropy cannon PVC was at the front down here, because I was like, okay, I only need the entropy cannons for Angron, and if Angron takes the charge, then I've got Carnivore to punch him, so I won't need it. So even though, yes, I lost to PBC early, like, all the anti-infantry firepower was still alive. Yeah, Craig, it's ridiculous. Sorry, yes, the fall over button. Nothing has died in this game. This is a very passive game. All peaceful, nothing dies. No anger, no violence. The fall over button. But we managed to get a 14-6 victory, which allowed our team to get a 68-32 team victory. Now, after this, there was chat around. We're not going to go into that one. It was against Bridgehead. Bridgehead is stupid. He did play it well, but 10 Scions, putting Morty to 1 wound from full in a single activation. That's dumb. That's fucking stupid, and it shouldn't happen. But it does, because it's the game we play, and they're about to get even better in the Codex. I'm not going to get into it, because it was upsetting, because it was silly. But the guy was lovely. It was nothing against him. But these are the 5 main games. And overall, that meant that our team managed to end up coming in 2nd place, just losing the final round. We actually played 6 rounds. And it was close. It was 1 point off being a draw as well, which would have been, not a loss, which is nice. But I'm still super proud. I'm still super happy with how we did. A little picture of the team there. I actually got to hold the trophy. I asked them, I was like, can I hold the trophy, guys? And they were like, of course you can hold the trophy. So, so thank you to the guys for letting me hold the first ever trophy of my life. Proper fancy trophy anyway. But it was really cool, so I was dead proud of the team. I think we did really, really well. And to get there, like, you can see like Team Ignite and Team Donate, like, they're a really big team. So thankfully they got some draws early on. We didn't get a draw, so a bit of luck, maybe a bit of luck in pairings, but I think we played really well as well. I think we did. It does make the trophy look bigger when I hold it as well, to be fair. It does do that. But yeah, I mean, overall result in personal rankings as well, I got 7th place, and the blessed number, it had to be, didn't it, boys? And I'm obviously super chuffed. Out of like 695 players, to get 7th place in a personal rankings, mental to me. I kept saying that I'm the 5th man of the team, and I still sort of like feel like that sometimes. I'm definitely not as versed and as confident as the other guys, but I felt like at least I put up a good showing for myself, and I'm quite proud of how I did. Not to be big-headed. I try not to be big-headed. Like, I'm very not much. I'm very much downplaying myself quite a bit. But I was quite happy with how I did this one. I won't lie. But what did we learn? Plaguestorm hits really, really hard. Like, oh my god, the damage this thing puts out, especially with Boil Blight, -1 save, Contagion, it's just horrendous. Like, stuff gets picked up so fast, and I need to get better at baiting my opponent to put stuff out for me to pick it up. But that's something we learn over time, and I'll hopefully keep getting better at, because I'm going to keep playing this for a bit. Like I said, I need to practice my aggression. There's certain games where I just need to be more aggressive and play more forward with my tanks and stuff. Like, who cares if I lose 1 or 2 tanks? If they trade all that anti-tank for that, then I kill them, and I have free I have free reign over it. You took that 1 point off him, Craig. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, so the person in 6, Chukanori, won the entire event. That's why he's there. So even though his scores were lower than mine, that he did win. He was part of the team that won the entire thing. They're the guys we lost to in the finals. So I think that's why. I don't think I wanted a Lord of Virulence. I think the Lord of Virulence is good for Defilers because their cannons are just much better at flat 3 damage. But honestly, Boil Blight plus the Icon Bearer was enough. I would rather have Typhus before Lord of Virulence, I reckon, because Lord of Virulence then I need to bring Death Shroud and all that stuff. It gets messy. But it wouldn't be a bad shout. I wouldn't be upset if he was also in the list. It would still be good. I'm getting a bit better at playing my car parks. I think everyone who knows me knows I'm not the best at car parks. There's definitely some mistakes I made, like that Predator in that final round. What was he doing? Out of nowhere. But I'm getting slightly better at it, and that's something I'm going to keep trying to learn to improve myself because, you know, I need to, you know, I myself need to get better. I'm not the perfect player. I make mistakes, as you can see. So trying to get better at it, practicing it more can only help, which is good to see. But one thing I did learn is this list has very few bad matchups. I think even in the Scions game, there was more play in it than I potentially put on. I just need to be a bit more confident with how I deal with it. And I don't think it's a good matchup for us, but I think there's a world where we can make it work, and I just need to find it and get a bit better at it. But in general, I didn't feel upset into any matchup. I feel like it was good into pretty much everything. Even the melee pressure from the Rampages and the World Eaters into the shooty gun lines. I think the main issue you might have is into like things like Triple Vindicator Marines. Like I don't think I want to face that with like Calgar and Gilliman. But part of that, I don't think there's too many bad matchups for it. So for teams especially, it's really solid. And I'll probably be taking it to singles on March into Manchester GT and see how it gets on there. But I mean, yeah, really, that's I'd agree with him there. Yeah, I think Ultramarine Gladius just outshoots you with Vindicators because it's just horrendous. But I mean, part of that, I think it's a really solid list. I like the drones just because they can't get tagged and they can be annoying and tag things and still get to fall back and shoot. Haulers have grown on me a little bit, but I still don't think they're very good in general for this list anyway. Because like I want the Flamers to kill like just the random chaff infantry because I'm going to be out OC'd and out modelled a lot of the time. Whereas the Haulers, I don't really find them useful. Like people bring like Nathan Roberts runs 2 Predator Annihilators for his anti-tank, so maybe you could make an argument for swapping 2 out for that if you wanted to keep the Icon Bearer and stuff. But when you don't want to go buy 2 more Predators, but you know, I don't think it'd make or break the list. I just think I prefer the drones at this point. But yeah, I mean that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed going through that. Sorry, I sometimes forget where stuff's at. It's hard to remember all 5 games top of my head. I try and do my best. If you do enjoy it though, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out. And for the people who've super chatted and obviously become a member, gifted memberships, thank you so much. It makes everything worth doing and helps grow the channel, which is awesome. If you want to become a member, hit the join button in just below the video on the stream right now. That'll let you become a Plague Marine, in which case then you get to join the Discord, join the giveaways, all that kind of stuff, get list reviews. I'll try and do a Plague Surgery probably tomorrow or Saturday. So because I am behind and I really need to get up there. What we can do, Chuck and I, maybe I can even do the deployments more on TTS at some point because you guys can see it a bit better rather than like the circular symbols. But I mean, yeah, I enjoy doing these event recaps, and I'm super happy to obviously get the result that we got. I look forward to the next one, and obviously you can expect another event recap after we go to the next one. I think we'll have a little 2-week or 3-week break before Manchester, and then we'll start. Not from the channel. We're going to make channel. We've got content to come. But at the moment, I am very much in the Codex waiting room. I am super excited to see what we get, guys. And that would be quite fun. One thing I wanted to ask before I go off tonight. We did a hobby hangout the other night, as Dana mentioned before. If you guys liked the hobby hangout where we were talking absolute nonsense, it wasn't even 40k, we were talking about toading the old and Yorkshire puddings and whatnot. Let us know, because me and Dave will be happy to just come on and just chat absolutely anything with you lot. Maybe we can even do it on Discord and you guys can join in and all that stuff. Yes, we are due the fight, Dom. We will do the fight. We had to rearrange because of lots of nonsense going on with I.T.T and LVO and stuff. So, what do you want? You want to fight this thing? You want to fight the Plaguestorm list? Because we could do that. Like we could do what next weekend maybe. I think I'll have to see what's going on, but that's potential. I'll let you know. So we'll get that going. But yeah, for now, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, leave a like and subscribe. Really helps out. The hobby hangout was brilliant. Okay, we'll make sure we do some more Dane. That will be fun. Yeah, maybe we can trick more Dave into more hobby. And obviously, people who are in the chat right now, thank you so much for being part of this community. I really do appreciate whether you're a member, whether you're not a member. Just having you in the chat engaging in the conversation. It's lovely to have like a little community that we do have. And here's to hoping the channel keeps growing. And you know, next goal's going to be 10k. That's like the next main goal with a big giveaway for it. I know we've got to get Dave to pay something else, haven't we? We're going to announce Dave's idea for the charity giveaway next stream. We're just trying to figure a charity, what you guys want to do. We don't know if we want to pick a Warhammer themed charity, maybe like a dog charity, because I love dogs and a lot of people in the chat love dogs, or maybe you'd like to go to something medical. So you guys can let us know maybe some suggestions of what you think would be a good place to put the money to for the raffle that we're going to do for Dave's one painted model. So let us know on that one. But I'm going to try and get some more stuff here. We're going to do an infection critical as well video. And maybe we can do another masterclass video like we did the Typhus Tactics one. That seemed to go down pretty well, so it'd be quite cool if maybe we could do that for Mortarion, like a Mortarion masterclass. I will keep trying to make content. Obviously, this is my full-time job, so it's kind of hard sometimes, especially when work gets a bit crazy. So sometimes I do sit here and feel like I don't make enough content for you guys. I do apologise. I do try, but I will keep trying, and that's what I can promise you. I will keep trying this channel. I'll keep trying to grow it and provide you guys with Death Guardy goodness and content. Do the whole thing and then do 4 differently coloured plague stitches. That'd be quite cool. that would be quite cool. I'm in the process of doing something extremely stupid. I've started repainting my entire army to the Heresy scheme. So I've just done a War Dog in the Heresy scheme, and I really liked it that much that I'm kind of like now just decided to fully commit to redoing my entire army in the sort of Heresy scheme. So I don't know why I'm doing this. It's very stupid. I probably shouldn't do it. But I thought, hey, why not? There you go. Should get a bigger screen for it. So got my real War Doggy here in the Heresy scheme. So I am looking forward to getting that done as well, which would be quite cool. So join us for some more hobby hangouts in the future. And yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna go rest my throat because I've been speaking for 2 hours, and it's getting a bit dry. I have got a drink though. And Natalie's been playing Cyberpunk to keep herself busy while I've been locking her out of the room for this stream. So thank you everyone for tuning in for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay rotten. I will catch you all on the next episode. I'll leave you with some tunes. And yeah, until the next one, take care. And we got a trophy, boys. Woo! Catch you later, everyone. Bye bye.
So broken hive, corpses twitch and come alive. This crimson plague, it feeds on fear as the bodies drop and it draws us near. Our skin is crawling, something's inside. Internal organs liquefied. Death Guard's gift, a twisted fate. No escape for me, yeah, it's too late. No goal comes except your fate. It won't stop. The hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Run the rod, walking pox now takes its bite. Lungs are burning, pox fills the air. You scream for help, but no one cares. Bones are breaking, bodies twist. The Death Guard's gift, death's toxic kiss. Pale eyes stare with a hollow glare. They're gone but shambling, lost somewhere. This hive is his, disease and bloom. No light survives in this darkened tomb. Then no comes except your fate. And won't stop. The hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. You feel it subtle deep inside. There's no cure, nowhere to hide. You breathe me in, you can't escape. I am the plague, I am your fate. What can you feel it in your bones? This is where it now goes home. No mercy here, you're out of time. Your final breath is at last mine. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Noodle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Armored and filled with rusted blades, they laugh as cities wilt and fade. Where they tread, no life remains. Just hollow corpses, plague remains. Beneath the helm, the cursed grin, for in death they shall begin. Rot and ruin, pestilence flow.